Hey everybody, Elizabeth here, all the way from Central Florida. Today it's a beautiful day, so I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of it and show you how to propagate a golden pothos using water. There's a couple things that you're going to need before you start your propagation. One being a vase of some sort. I just use a clear mug as it's the easiest and the cheapest. I also like to use a clear mug or vase because I like to watch the roots grow as the pothos is propagating. You can use a colored vase, a plastic vase, a glass vase, whatever you prefer. You're also going to need scissors or plant snippers or shears of some sort. You can use a knife, but it's not recommended because you won't get the cleanest cut. But just make sure you have something that you can use to cut the vine of the golden pothos. You're gonna need some water. I use rainwater from my rain barrel. You can use spring water or tap water, rainwater, whichever you prefer. And you're also gonna need the plant. I have a golden pothos here. We are going to go ahead and cut all these long vines off because I like my plant to be full, and when the vines get really long it looks really sad and droopy. So we're gonna go ahead and cut those so my plant can grow new vines and propagate on its own in the soil. Now I have this plant is the main plant and it's in soil, and then I have cuttings that I do frequently that I put in water and I leave in water. So for example, I have a vase here filled with pothos I've already cut and have been propagating for a while. If you look up close, there are some roots you can see growing around inside of this vase. Now this has only been in here for a couple weeks and there is already a lot of growth, and that's what you like to see. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you before we go ahead and get this cutting started is where to cut and where not to cut and what a node is. A node is this little brown dot on the plant here on the stem, usually right across from a leaf that's grown. This is going to be your root source when we put the propagation into water. You always want to cut above and below the node. This is also a node, it's just longer. Sometimes they're short, sometimes they're long. Usually when they're longer, that means they're trying to reach the sun or water or soil, something where it's going to grow a root from. So this is already trying to root. You can see it's following the leaf, and then there's the node, all the way up the whole vine. We are going to actually do a cutting of this vine here, and then always make sure you have your snippers and make sure that they're clean. That way you're not transferring bacteria to your mother plant or to the cutting. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to cut right before this node here, right before it, just to get that vine, right before the node, and cut that vine off. And now we're going to use this vine here to use as our propagation. Okay, so here you see the node. We're going to cut right after that node. Here there's another node. We're going to cut right after. And you're just going to keep doing that right after every single node. You're going to give that vine a chop. I'm going to leave this one on just because there is a baby growing from this one, so I don't want to cut it too much because there's not a big node here yet. So I'm just going to leave it like this, and then we'll put that right in water. Okay, so go ahead and grab your water, and we're going to put it in our vase, almost all the way to the top. And then we're going to take those cuttings that we just did. Make sure you put that node in the water. If you don't put the node in the water, no root is going to grow from it. So you're just going to take your plant with the node in the water, Every single time you have a cutting, everything is going to go right into the water. There's the node, it's going to go in the water. Okay, now that we have those cuttings we just cut, we put them into water. We're going to go ahead and move to the plant that I've done. It's been about 2 weeks in this water here. So let me transition out and I'll show you what these roots are looking like over here. Now you can see on this plant here, I do have some little plant clips. These plant clips I did get at the Dollar Tree. They're super inexpensive, as well as my cutters that I used to cut the pothos in the prior part of this video. But I'm going to go ahead and take a clamp off and show you some of those roots that are growing out of the nodes. Okay, this is one of the cuttings I did a couple weeks ago. You can see here there was a node right here, and now it is rooting. This will root in water as long as you leave it in water. You never have to put it in soil if you don't want to. You can also see right here next to this leaf, I have a new leaf growing out. Eventually that will look like these, and it will be fuller. And there's the root. Put it right back in the water because that's where she's gonna live probably for the rest of her life. Okay everybody, that's how you propagate a golden pothos. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them down in the comments below. Let me know if you have anything or any concerns. I'm always looking for suggestions as well. So everybody have a great day, and I'll see you later.